Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back. Another day for the Book of Boba Fett. This time, me and I are talking about the latest episode four, Fear.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
German now. Yeah, episode fear, no, four. And yeah, Mia, how did you like it? Was it better? Because we were like, meh on the last one. Did you like it? Did you
Yes, I
enjoy
did.
it?
It was better. It was better than last one, in my opinion. First of all, it lasted 10 minutes longer. It was 48
Mm-hmm.
minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. Although some parts were a little stretched, also
Yes.
a little
Yeah.
bit. But it's cool to find the backstory of the two of them. And yeah, I liked it a lot. Do you
Yeah.
wanna do you wanna give it some rating?
Yes.
Do it, do it, you do it.
Me, okay. Well, I would give it an 8.5, I think.
Then I'll go with 9 because I
Oh my God, you're always above my rating. I'm a bit more critical than Mia, but she's a positive person here. I'm the negative Nelly. No, we're both not.
yeah.
But yeah, so the gathering storm, and well, this is basically foreshadowing something is coming, people. Because this is not the storm yet. And yeah, so overall, one thing I'm realizing, which I don't like about the show, is because I told you I just sometimes feel weird about the flashbacks, and to
Okay.
start off with a negative thing. But I don't like the timeline thingy. I don't. They could have, now I'm realizing, and I think the timeline thingies are over now. The flashbacks,
Yeah,
most
I think
most of
so
them,
too.
because he's healed now and everything.
Unless he gets really hurt again and he needs to go back
He needs
to
to go back
Bacta,
to the
then
Bacta.
maybe
Yeah,
we see some more.
yeah.
Yeah, but in
But
principle, you're getting your wish come true. Now we're going to be only in the present.
yes, but I think they could have done flashbacks, but they should have done it in a linear timeline. They could have done, like starting off with the past and then making a time jump, explaining how they do the time jump. I personally do think I would have enjoyed that more, but when it comes to visuals and all that stuff, I'm a simple person. Uh, so I would have preferred that they started in the past, explain everything, because only now I realize how long he has been with the Sand People, because he has been there a while, and you didn't get that. He confirmed it
True,
now in
true.
this episode, but I would just have liked, this is him escaping from the Sarlacc. This happened then through the time. Then he was with them, learned a lot, changed. Then he got this idea of becoming, a cr- crime lord, a daimyo himself, and all that. That would have made, for me personally, more sense than all these flashbacks. And then but that is just my feeling.
But I don't know. I think the flashbacks, in a way, they do explain parts of the episode
They
where they
do,
should. Like when
yeah,
we see them getting killed by Nictor riders, then we
yeah.
find out about
There you
the
go.
the
Yeah,
Pikes, and now the
yeah,
Pike Syndicate in prison. So it does also make a little bit sense. I understand. I understand you want it to be
yeah.
like really, the German way, which they say for people from Zagreb, they are exactly like.
You want the chaos.
No,
You
I
want the
want the.
chaos. I want the
No, no,
order,
no.
right?
I want the order. I'm also for the order.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good.
I also like that, but I do understand why they did what they did,
Yeah,
because it does kind of complement the past, complements the present, and it's kind of intertwined a
yeah.
little bit. So I'm not so bad. You know what? Like the episode starts with him in Bacta, right? It's a beautiful scene. But what
Yeah.
I wanted to see was this Gamorrean guy in the Bacta, because I was just hoping just to
Yeah,
see if
you
he
just want.
fits. I'm still
Oh my
like,
God.
I'm
The
still
chubby.
obsessing.
I know, the
Obsessing. How
chubby
can
Gamorreans. People were saying they are not chubby enough, not fat enough. I'm like, it's fine.
they
They're
are
okay.
they're good.
Um,
They're
yeah, no,
quite good.
and I was thinking, it is called the Book of Boba Fett. This is basically, when you have a book, this is like going from one, like normally in a book, chapter by chapter. But these chapters are like, oh, I'm going back to page 1. I'm going back to page 99. I'm going back to page 3. This is,
Yeah, like old Disney comics, which I read. When you come to the end, then you get, if you want a different ending, you go back to the certain part of the story.
yeah, yeah, yes.
No, but I think it was cool. I really like the idea of them showing
Yeah.
now how it went down between Fennec and him. Uh,
Yes.
but like that part
And why
when
he saved her.
yeah, also but
Mhm.
that part when he's eating right after he's taking the palace and he sees like too many
Yeah.
guards, so he's not going in and he's eating, and then the banta waving tail.
Oh God, I love the like seriously. This is like I love this freaking animal. Like they're so cute. All I want, like, I want to go to a theme park riding a banta. Make that possible, Disney, please.
But
I'll
their
pay
but their
money for
tongue
it.
their tongue is really, I would not
Yeah, like
like to get licked by them.
no, but it was
It
so. It was a
it's
really
cute, but
nice
a little
moment.
bit childish in my opinion. A little bit like,
Really?
"Ah, come on,
No.
it's like a waving tail there, like a little huge dog."
I liked it. I loved it. I love his interaction because she was the only thing that was left of his life with the sand people. That's the sand part, the sad part. No more humans alive, and this is why he had to speak to this animal. So yeah, I kind
Yeah,
of
that's
found
cool.
it
It's cool
endearing.
that he gives us the context of what's going on by speaking to Banta.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
cool part, yeah. And their goodbye was so endearing. Like,
Make
go
babies.
go make baby Bantas.
That was really cool. Yeah, so the scene with Finnick, and I was one of these people. I don't remember. You watched The Mandalorian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was this scene when she was killed. There was at the end, you saw somebody hovering above her
Mm-hmm.
body, and a lot of people were saying, this looks like Boba Fett, and a lot of people. I was one of these people, and a lot of people were like, "No, Boba Fett is dead. Shut up."
Or they were saying something about the cape. His cape is not long enough, or the cape length was not
Yeah,
not good. But yeah, he was not wearing his cape.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
wearing clothing of Tuscans. So
Exactly,
yeah,
which we
and
couldn't obviously know at that time.
yeah,
Makes
true,
sense, but it was now it's confirmed that person was Boba, and it's cool that now they are connecting the Mandalorian because we will talk about
exactly.
this. But spoiler, yeah, the Mandalorian will show up in this
For
show.
sure. I mean, they
It
put
will,
twice the team of Mandalorian in this
yes,
episode. So if this is
yeah,
not announcement, I don't know what is. But that I
mm,
really liked when he looks at the light and then there is a team playing
yeah.
and he comes to her.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
Uh,
what how did you like the then he saves her? By the way, there are faster ways. Couldn't he have gotten a taxi or something? Because going on a banter with a woman that is basically dying, that takes a while to go to these, I was like, okay. And the scene that I love these com- like these symbolic scenes, and him arriving on a banter which is very traditional, very like old world. He didn't have any weapons. He was not in his uniform. He was still the Boba with the sand people, right? And he
mhm.
arrived at that part, and then all the cool kids with their parts, and the robotic, the future, the new
Yeah,
generation maybe, was there. So that was such a stark contrast, and they were even calling him old man or something like that.
yeah. Aren't you too
um
old to be here? Like what you doing?
yeah, so that was actually kind of cool, like two worlds colliding, right? Like him, yeah, and these new kids. I hope this won't be the new Star Wars, what these kids like portray. But anyway, that's another
But
discussion.
what did you think about the music in that mod parlor? It was totally not Star Warsy, like it was
No,
something
and I'm not
else.
a big techno. Me being German, like saying that, like shame on me. But I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't. You don't always need, like something like Ericsson, Göran Ericsson, or whatever the guy's name, who did the Mandalorian thing and now also does parts of Boba. But it was weird, just like the speeder gang kids
Yeah,
on
yeah,
their
yeah.
flashy.
It didn't belong. It just doesn't belong. But and then again, I do now understand more the speeder gang, because these are youngsters who invest into their parts to be
Yes.
modified. So they are also investing in their bikes, which
Yeah.
they obviously don't belong to Sands of Tatooine. I mean, If
Yeah.
they look like Mad Max, yeah, okay, then
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, but now this like
Yeah. Yeah.
just
They
doesn't.
could be on Coruscant. That would
Yeah,
make total
exactly.
sense, but not.
They're maybe they come from there and they just came to the worker district. We don't know their backstory, in fact. So
Yeah.
maybe they just came from there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was. I think the music was. I'm not sure, but I think the music was done by the Thundercat, who played the guy who was putting the new parts on Fennec.
Ah, okay.
So could be that because he was playing, they also
Okay.
put his music.
Yeah, I didn't check. Yeah, I didn't check that up.
But it
But
didn't feel right. Just like those shiny bikes, this part just kind
yeah,
of stood out
yeah.
weirdly.
I didn't mind the parlor, which was kind of like a tattoo parlor. I didn't mind the
Exactly.
parlor,
Yeah.
and all that, and him like saving Fennec by making her like basically bionic woman. And or the $7 million woman or whatever that show was called. But that was kind of cool. I really liked that. And now you understand. Do you remember that moisture selling guy that came
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to the palace? Yes. And she didn't like him, and you understand now why, because he
Oh,
didn't
of
like the
course.
kids, and he was speaking against the kids and said, with their bionic parts and blah blah.
The cyber thing, of course, because
Yes,
she has
but she's
one
one
too.
of them. She's
Yeah.
one of them, but
Yeah.
you can't see it because it's kind of hidden. And
Yeah.
oh, and I loved what the tattoo guy, the mechanic guy, said, because Boba was like, "Don't you want to cover that up?" And he
Yeah.
was like,
Stitch
"No,
up.
it looks so cool. Let her show it," which I liked. I like that he said that.
Yeah, and I love the fact that there was no any blood and anything. Okay, it's not usual for Star Wars, which I really like. And like
Yeah,
there was a point when I was pregnant when I had to stop watching Game of Thrones because it just became too much. It just became it became too much for me. So this is what I like about Star Wars. Is
yeah,
nice.
it's
Everything happens.
clean.
There's like pulling hands and stuff, but that's okay because
Yeah.
they grow back. Uh, but
Well, we don't know what happened to that Trandoshan, but we'll talk
No,
about
but
that
the
later.
Trandoshan, they do grow their limbs back. They
Do
do.
they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
it's cool. He's gonna grow it back. It's fine. It's all
Oh,
good.
okay, it's fine. Then just rip everything out. BK. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So anything more to that scene? Did you with her
Mm.
being getting her part? No.
No, no. I think we said the most about it.
Yeah.
Then the scene next is when she comes to
Yeah.
in the desert, and when she realizes, oh, you took me because there's a price on my head, so I'll pay double, whatever. But Boba is like, no, I don't
Yeah.
want money. I need you to
Yeah.
help me with my. I will not call it the fire spray gunship. I'm gonna call it Slave One because, yeah,
Yeah, it's and what I didn't know that, but I looked it up, and apparently that is just the name for the model.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not even the shit. Yeah, so that's a bit strange. I I mean, whatever they can do, it's their IP. If they don't want to call it that, I think they could have explained it a teeny tiny bit, or just mention it, and then just him saying, I don't know. I'm no longer a slave, because this is very much, he mentions a lot, let's be free. And this is also, he kind of frees her as well, right? And he
Exactly,
doesn't
yeah.
want a life debt or anything from her. He doesn't even want the money. And he frees her in a way, and he is free in a way. They are now working for themselves. And this is about freedom. So, no longer a slave anyway. But I don't want to go into
Okay,
this discussion.
but the
People
ship
on the.
names is ship name. I know that in the stories, there were four of those gunships, and he had different
Yeah.
ones. But this, it's a ship that his father had, so it's like
Yeah.
it is what it is. There was a really fantastic scene which I liked there. But okay, say first what you want to say about the beginning. Then I'm
No,
gonna go to the end of that
no, no,
scene.
no. Do
Uh,
yeah, no.
well, when they walk in, right? Because there's too many guards, so they need to walk very slowly. Okay, the scene in the kitchen. This. What did you think about the scene in the kitchen with
Oh my
the
god,
cat and
but I
mouse?
loved it.
Like you did?
I loved it. I found it, I like the droid interactions. This is we just talked before. Sorry, I just bit my lip and I'm bleeding now. Anyway,
Oops. Okay.
um, yeah,
Wanna
so
get
I
it?
like the droid stuff, right? In Clone Wars there are several episodes which are just like the main protagonists are C3PO and R2D2, and it's really funny, and like I like all the droid thingies, and that there are so many of them, and they have a life of their own, and I like that. And that one kitchen droid
Is
um
awesome. It's like Captain
is
Grievous, right?
He's
With a
like
vague,
Grievous, but just
yeah,
the cooking version, basically,
awesome. I would love
The,
to have him in, at home.
can he please start working here?
Yes.
Can I hire him? No, he was really cool. And the other droid, apparently, I don't remember that I took a EV9D9. He's the same droid that was confirmed. He was in the scene with the C3PO in Return of the Jedi in Jabba's palace. He gave him that job on the ship above the Sarlacc pit. So he's the same droid. So he's still, obviously, like the droids are still around, but it's that droid that had this C3PO interaction, which is kind of funny that they bring back things from even the OG movies. Yeah.
Yeah, even the
But
rat, the droid that's catching a rat, we can see him later
yes.
in Jabba's palace after
Yeah.
Boba is ruling. So he kept him.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
scene was he looks like a bunny to me, like totally these bunny ears and like, and this
And
interaction, like I'm Boba Fett, and he just goes and switches
yeah.
it. Like,
I love
oh,
that. And then he threw him in the trash, and I was like, that's so mean, but okay, anyway. But that was a cute. I
but he
think
kept him. He kept him.
y- yeah. But I really, I like these various versions of droids and their funny interactions, and yeah, no, I think that is also what the kids really like. I
Yeah.
think that is, and you can sell a lot of toys, obviously, for that anyway. But I didn't find that too childish. I thought that was a endearing, nice scene.
Yeah, for me, this like chasing around the kid, like let's don't make any noise, and then they're making so much
Mm.
noise and chasing. It was just
And she was
okay.
like, Are we done yet? Is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
it now,
okay.
please?"
Yeah,
um
but then there is a badass scene where she's just kicking everybody's ass there, and the scene that
yeah,
I love the most when they are escaping finally, when she
yeah,
opens the door of the palace, and when
yeah.
the ship's door is closing on her.
Oh,
That was the scene that
it's a cool
really
shot. Yeah.
really cool. That
Yeah.
that was my favorite. Probably my favorite scene in the whole episode. It's really
Cool. Okay.
nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um yeah, so they have the ship and he tells her, he asks her, can I get you somewhere? And she makes the decision, I think, at that point
Yeah. It's like
to
I'll stay for a ride. It just yeah, let's see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
And because she can see he has a purpose, he has a goal, and I think she wants to find out, is he just talking? Is he, I really like that. She's obviously not fully subscribed yet. But I like that she sees something in him, and she really must, because she could be still successful, she's, all patched up now. She could be very successful in her own right. She could still make a lot of credits and live her life, but I think he gave her some idea and he opened her eyes a little
Hmm.
bit with what he told her. And I really like, and I think that is the moment on the ship as well. And she's like, nah, actually, I'll stay around and see what we can do.
Uh, and now I forgot, is the scene before or after when he's actually asking her to join him and
I
to
think
be
after
his equal when
I
he offers all that? That was
I
after,
think
yeah.
after I'm not sure,
Because
but I think
she
after.
was even then she was saying, well, I'll do jobs for you, but I like my freedom. I'm not going to work for you. I'm just going to be independent
Yeah,
contractor. And then
yeah.
she changes her mind
Later
into
on, it looks
yeah,
like they are.
exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I think so
so
too.
it's not what I thought, that because he fixed her up, now she just feels this,
Hmm.
she needs to pay him off. No, she paid off the debt by getting the slave one, and now.
Yeah,
And what did you think of the way that he revenged to Nick? I loved it.
epic.
It was
I was
awesome.
like,
This was
yes.
Boba, that was it. It just guns them down.
Yeah,
And
without, without even any explanation and no warning and nothing,
no,
boom,
he said, I
flying.
need to
Oh,
do something. So he just went,
yeah,
killed them
yeah,
all,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I deserved. But she wasn't sure, and that's interesting. Also, she was also doubting that
Yes,
they were the one who murdered all
themselves.
the Tuscans. So
Yeah,
I think there's more to the story.
yes,
Although I don't know how we find that out. Maybe in present we find it out when the warrior, the female warrior, shows up of Tuscans,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I bet she's gonna show up as well at
But
some point.
he suspects this as well, and her even asking this question must confirm his suspicions that no, this wasn't just these. Yeah, I think he killed them because they did the deed, because they took the job and did
Of
it without,
course,
they killed children and all that. It wasn't just,
exactly.
yeah. So that was literally, that wasn't a job to, I don't know, to bring spies from one place to another, and if somebody interferes, kill him. This was literally genocide, like kill
Slaughter,
these
yeah,
this
it was
whole
horrible.
tribe. Yeah, so he was angry at them, but I think he understood and knew at that time already, this can't be just this Nixo gang doing it. For why? That there's no reason for it, so there
Well,
must
no,
be somebody.
they are having this dispute about who is the main protector of
Mm,
pikes while they are carrying spies, but I don't think that's it. I think there is more to that story
yes.
still. And I was actually a little bit surprised when I saw him diving into the pit, because I was thinking, like, didn't wasn't he aware when Javas kicked him over the head, and wasn't he aware that he actually
I
escaped
d-
with a
no, I
suit on? But I think
no,
he
I
was
don't.
so probably, like,
Yeah,
from this acid, maybe
yeah,
dehydrated, and he was probably just like
yeah.
totally out of it, and he didn't realize that.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird. You could question, is this lazy writing? Is it? But I'll just accept it and move on from it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
you're
now
right.
at
Yeah.
least we see why he's spending so much time in Baghdad, because he got
Yes.
into it even without an armor. He went
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I like when she tells him, like, just forget about it. It's dissolved already. Not Beskar. No,
It's
Beskar.
really cool. Yeah, but then you had that stormtrooper in there. So how long was he in there? Because his uniform was still intact, and the stormtrooper uniform is not made of Beskar. So
Exactly.
that was a bit.
It
Anyway. Yeah.
wasn't intact. It was already kind of
Hmm.
bad. I mean, when you
Yeah.
compare it to Boba's later, when yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Was that all that happens in the past? Because I know that 15 minutes are only in the present,
Yeah.
but I think
I,
that's it. After that, he just goes through, like, flashbacks of him overthrowing Viv Fortuna, and then he's waking
that
up.
was it. Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
he finds,
because then
and
the
we
scene comes, yeah, because then the scene comes where oh, you're fully healed, and that's it then
exactly,
for
and
the
that's really
flashbacks.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. One little thing, I don't know, for all you computer game nerds or game nerds out there, I forgot the name of the game, but I remember my flatmate was always playing that game, and people screamed fire in the hall. I don't remember what, maybe somebody in the chat knows. And she was saying that when, the bomb detonated, and I was like, what? That's from a computer game. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that scene was very similar to the, was it in the New Hope? I don't even know. When when Han and Leia, when they were in the mouth of that beast as well on that asteroid
Hmm.
with their ship. So it was very similar how they got into and how they freed themselves. But yeah,
But is it done? Is he now, like, totally dead? Is there any way that it's
nah,
no? I think
dead.
now it's, like,
Yeah,
totally dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just like, he's so old. It's I almost feel tiny bit sad for the creature.
Yeah, and on the ship, he then confirmed that he was with the Sand People for a while.
Hmm.
So I mean, I don't know how many years, but it was years. So it's not, because obviously in the show it looks like it could be a week. But
Yeah, no, they were training for long. I mean, he's a quick
yeah,
learner, but maybe not that
yeah,
quick. And he really
yeah,
formed bonds and connections. I liked when she tells him like the living with them made you soft, and he's like, no, it made me strong. And this is
strong.
and I think this
Yeah,
is exactly the Boba we were seeing.
yeah,
Maybe against the Boba we were expecting to see. He's different. He's changed. He matured. He
yeah,
grew up,
yeah.
and he realizes that without a tribe it's hard. And
Hmm.
which is, for me, that's a beautiful lesson, uh,
Hmm.
because in life you can hardly succeed on your own. And we
Yes,
have this, like in schools, I don't know how it's in Germany, but in Croatia, in schools, they always teach you, you are one against everyone. And I never liked that approach. So this is it. This is how we all should live our
yeah,
lives, with like, yeah, we need to be a part of the tribe, and that's how we can succeed. And
yeah, yeah,
I think partially that story made her come to his side and decide, okay, this he's know what he's talking about, so let me stick by him.
yeah. The
Yeah.
pack survives, right? So find your wolf pack. Yeah. No, I like that. And yeah, I think then almost we get to the. Oh no, that's the cantina scene first.
Oh yeah, 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 with like Chrysanthemum. It's
So we
awesome.
learn a bit we learn a bit more about him, and they are adapting a lot from the comics and the lore, right? And one of your favorite character, and I see the internet going crazy about her, and yeah, I mean, she's hot AF. And she looks really good, and apparently, how old is she's apparently 50. So even Ming Na Wen, like, she's 59 or something, and she
No
looks like that.
way. No
Yes.
way. I never
Yes.
checked. Wow.
Yes, and I want to be that. Like, can we
I
please?
I
Like, I
Me
want to be
too.
that when I'm old. Old. I mean, no, but yeah,
Oh, older. A little
yeah.
bit older.
So
Older.
yeah, so Gasha, she has everything under control ish, and you see him
Smooth
sitting there.
talker.
But you see him sitting there in the beginning, and he's just so annoyed.
Yeah, you cannot stand the
And
sight of Trandoshans like drinking and spilling.
yep, and getting more and more angry. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, we saw the Trandoshan, I think, in episode one when they brought the tribute,
The
and
pelt, yeah.
apparently what they, yeah, was like the Wookiees. So they have a whole history,
Hmm.
Trandoshans and Wookiees, they have a whole history with each other. So the hate is not just for this specific Trandoshan, but for Trandoshans in
I
general.
think they were enslaving them. I think the Trandoshans were enslaving Wookiees. That's
Wookiees.
why.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
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 what I love the most about the scene, when it's like, you ran quite a tab, so I'm gonna forgive you your debt. Just don't make a scene. Just she's trying to calm him down, and he's so
yeah,
cool, just like pulls his
yeah,
arm out, tosses money at her. I really
yeah.
love that, because like he's himself, and he's gonna be himself. So nobody.
And there was this moment, and you thought first, okay, he listened to her because she is a smooth talker, and he,
Yeah,
maybe, but no, he was like, okay, I'm doing it
yeah.
anyway. But here, have your money, and they're totally setting it up that he will work for Boba, like, no doubt about
Yeah,
that.
but we find it out already in this episode. Boba hires him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, already now.
And I really still think that Gasha character, the cantina owner, something shady with her. She knows. How does she know all this? Has she been? Because she clearly was at these arena fights,
Hmm.
and she knew of him. And I think there's more to her.
She's
But
probably connected directly, maybe to Kira, even, who knows. And I mean,
yeah,
I'm expecting so many. Definitely, Din Djarin. I'm expecting him to show up in the next
yes,
episode,
he will.
and then
Yeah.
also, Bosk could. I'm just curious
Well,
from
they're
which
hiring
side.
people. They said
Exactly, but
they are
I'm all.
hiring.
But Boss could also be working for
They
Pikes,
could.
So and Cad Bane for
Oh,
sure is coming with Pikes. I think he's
yes,
coming, but he's coming with Pikes, because both of them,
yeah,
they have history with
yes,
him.
yes, Yeah.
So I just feel I'm hoping for so many cool characters now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, don't my idea is this this whole season is kind of prepping us for the season 2, because if you look at it, we are
Yeah.
already season 4 of 7, and
Yeah.
it's quite
Yeah.
slow. It
Yeah.
didn't
It
like
is.
the past. We found out some things, but the present
Yeah.
didn't move much. So I
No.
really feel the season 2 is gonna be
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
also hoping we see Grogu with Luke, just
No.
at least for a second. I miss
That's the
him.
thing. Will they show that in The Mandalorian? Obviously, they have to because this is actually his story, but they can, because they now start with Mando obviously coming in. They start to, like interweave these both worlds, and they play at the around the same timeline. So it
Yeah,
would make sense. But I'm still thinking that Han will show up. I do really because for some reason I do think Kira is behind this. And I do think Kira, because I don't think it's just the Pikes. There's somebody behind the Pikes, because
yeah,
this is Star Wars, and the Pikes, they're a faceless, there's no leader of the Pikes. Yeah, there was this guy sitting when Boba was talking to him, I think like 2 episodes ago, when he tipped him off, and said, yeah, well, we already paid our tribute.
yeah. But even he was
um
not the leader. He was saying
I
that
know,
he
but
spoke to someone else. So
yeah, but
definitely
trust
he
me.
admits there's somebody above him.
Yes, yes, and trust me, that won't be someone from the Pike Syndicate. That will be a very powerful known character. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
I think so
that
too.
they have Boba Fett, and they will set somebody known, somebody powerful, somebody from the law. They will set him, her up against Boba. I really believe that. I don't think it's a nameless, nobody ever heard of this person from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
head
yeah.
of the Pike Cutter. I don't think that. And that wouldn't be worthy of the show, because that will be the real opponent, right? The opponent, at least at this stage, are not the Huts, but the opponents are somebody else. So yeah.
Yeah, even
um
somebody who huts don't want to mess with, or maybe
no,
they're playing a different game. Maybe, yeah, they're just,
I think the Huts are in for the end game, because they want to see all of the others fighting, and they then take on whoever is left. Because we now learned who are the three other families. The mafia scene at the end.
yeah, yeah,
So we saw the three other families that Robert was telling him about. Like they have the water part of the and whatever. And I think the Huds didn't want to take on so many people, so they were like, "Nah, this is not worth the effort." Um, and yeah, I did you like the scene? Where you like
Oh no, I love it. The Rancor
the
shows
take
his little pose. That that was
was so
that was
cool.
amazing. Yeah, I think the scene is cool because at first, of course, he asked them to join him in fight, but
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, but only your area is being threatened. So Uh, why would we get into it? And we get some tax or whatever they get from the spice,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
I when they were this is where he shows his power, and I really like that because
Yeah.
uh, they're like, yeah, why would you be the daimyo? Why don't we just kill you right here? And but
Yeah.
he has Fennec by his side, and then
Yeah.
Gamorreans, and there is Chrysanthemum, and then of course
And the Rancor.
at that point the Rancor, oh, he's just a tiny bit hungry here, baby.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was awesome. I love that scene.
But they are not stupid, the other three families. They know Boba, yes, they only attack Boba at this point, but after Boba, it's their turn. Because they see they are cutting out the middlemen, right? And they see that they will take over the planet. So yes, Boba's first, but then they're next. But obviously, they want him to waste his money and his men and his
Yeah,
life
yeah, yeah.
first, and then they see what they can do. And I do you trust them, because they said, we will stay neutral? Do you trust
Well,
them?
I no, I don't. I don't trust them. But I don't think they're gonna join Pikes either because, like, like
Okay.
Boba said, it's they also know if they do that sooner or later they will lose against them.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
better for them to stay neutral, to lose nothing,
Okay.
to let
Okay.
Boba do
Do the
his
dirty work.
bidding,
Yeah.
do the everything, and then just see. Maybe they're just waiting it out to see if he's really
Hmm.
capable, and then they
Yeah.
decide. But if they go in bed with Pikes, then they're gonna lose
Hmm.
eventually. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think they're. I think that they are just doing it for their own interest. But no, I not
Hmm.
like not trust them. I trust that they will watch their own backs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's your
Good.
what's your take on that? What do you think?
I think so too. I really do believe that I think one of them will turn, and I do think one of them at least will team up with Boba. He somehow, for whatever reason, convinces them, because he kind of confirmed that he has money. I think
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
was, or he said, "I have enough money to hire
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
something
Fennec
along."
asks him, like, do we have
Yes.
money? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we have plenty of credits, no worries. Well, okay, money can buy muscle. So now they are finally going to, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm expecting so many good
Yeah.
characters in the next
But
episode.
that won't be enough, because the pikes are, I think we saw hundreds of them coming in with the ships. So you need basically an army. And I do think one of these three families will help him. I don't know. And I do think, because the power vacuum, because these three families apparently during Jabba's time weren't as powerful. So I do think Boba's power will even grow with one or two families being completely wiped out and gone.
Mm,
But yeah.
no, that's a good theory as well. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think it's about the numbers, because we already know now Boba is fully healed and we know how strong he
Yes.
is. And then there's
Yeah.
Fennec,
Yeah.
total badass, both
No.
brains and muscle.
Yeah.
So in fact, I don't think they need to have humongous
Two
army
men.
to
Okay.
because look what happened with the train, right?
Hmm.
Tuskens and Boba, there were way more of Pikes, and still
Yes.
they won. So in
Yeah.
fact, I don't think they need that much muscle. They just need a
Yeah.
quality muscle, and that's
Hmm.
I believe that's what we're gonna get. Oh, I'm so excited about it.
Me
Can't,
too. Yeah.
can't wait
I
for the next
think.
Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we have three left, 5, 6, and 7. And I do think it will pick up now, the pace and more fights, and it will
Yeah.
get better. Yeah, no, think so too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be packed with action, because for now we had like slow parts and action packed parts, and now it's
Yeah,
going to be just
yeah,
action.
yeah,
Yeah.
think so too. Good. So, people, we hope you like this. Sorry for being a day late. Me and I both had live things to do, but we'll be on time next week with episode 5. I think we found a teeny tiny little following here on my channel of people who enjoy this Star Wars content. Obviously, not everybody, but that's perfectly fine. And we're not experts, we're not Star Wars theory or any of these people. We're just two girls who love Star Wars and are into it and want to talk about it and just put a camera in front of our face. And yeah, we hope you enjoy this, and yeah, see you next week. Bye
Bye
bye, my lovies.
bye.